9%, I guess.
Yeah.
But this one, you cannot. Even if you have a Greymane or Genji, I think you need that Hanzo if he's open. So basically, it will be the fight to grab onto that Hanzo. And
Problem
secondly,
is when you take Greymane in that last draft first, you give Genji-Uther, which is like the strongest Genji of all time. I know a lot of Korean teams don't think so, because they're like, well, I can just first pick Genji and then they'll pick Uther against me, but I'm fine because Genji's broken. No, Genji-Uther is broken, and that is the problem, and that's a fact, right? Is that win rate for that combo is off the charts, and you give it to an incredible player on the side of Ballistix, give him a Divine Shield, and you're going to be sorry about it. Now, they banned the Tracer this time, but this could lead to a very similar situation last time. Ballistix can now decide to ban the Hanzo, for example, to leave the Greymane open if they're not interested in playing it. You could literally do the same thing they did last game with the Genji. Not as good of a Genji battleground. So they're looking to ban the Greymane. And now, I think Miracle they need to take the Hanzo. You give Genji-Uther, which is unfortunate. You can take Uther here. But I don't think that Miracle is going to think about the game in that way. That's not normally how they think. They don't think about the game in terms of hero pairings and combos. They think about comfort picks. Like, I would not even be slightly surprised if they did something crazy like locked in first pick Garrosh here. It would not be meta, and it would be a little bit absurd, but they could theoretically do it and kind of respond afterwards.
very possible.
I don't like banning if you have first pick, I don't like banning a non-super high priority hero like Tracer, because you always lend yourself into getting trapped by the Uther Genji if you go the other way, and if you can't take either Uther or Genji and make it look smart.
I think if they had a plan of grabbing Hanzo, I think that's the reason why maybe they were banning Tracer. I think just as a throwaway ban, but instead they're gonna grab onto Genji.
But what happens now? I have a feeling we might see the Uther locked in with the Hanzo. You know, I mean, I joked about how fast they were gonna lock it in last time. Almost looks like Moggy's like typing some BM in the chat after this one. Uh-oh, and how did I know?
I do not
and then
know.
Genji's what, like 1-11 or 1-12 against Uther in Korea? I don't know. It's a pretty small win rate. They took the entire drafting time to decide to pick Genji, knowing that they banned the Tracer, which is going to lead to either this reality or a reality where they pick Hanzo and Uther gets the Genji pairing just like last game, which is why the Tracer ban, to me, doesn't make sense. It feels like they were thinking Ballistix wasn't going to make the smartest move with the Greymane ban, and then they were like, oh god, we messed up. They spent the entire pick time to lock in the Genji, and Ballistix spent 10 seconds to smile and lock in the immediate answer that we've seen so many times. And now what does Miracle draft? There are no answers. There are no correct choices here. There is only drafting on the fly and hoping for really a thought or some sort of new nuanced strategy.
I think this one they will be just going back to their normal, like the Li Ming Genji along with possibly Garrosh with Tyrael maybe next to it. So they're gonna go around here and bring that Nubarak to get that Uther in Cocoon and lock him in there and provide that silence right after for Genji to pick up multiple kills. That's what you're looking for. And as a Miracle, they usually put on another mage along with Genji, not just a Genji. Oftentimes, sometimes Jaina. Oftentimes on this map, Li Ming, where Gunja's skill shots are pretty good. I think this one they will be going back to their normal one.
I think you can just ban Li Ming here, and then you're going to be pretty happy about whatever happens next.
And Li Ming and bring ETC, which is the perfect pair with Uther also.
Yeah. Like, I think you're right on the money. Li Ming is definitely their go-to in this situation. Although, again, remember, it's flex that we're seeing. Jaina's a more common pick in terms of meta picks in Korea, and is, again, Gunza's highest win rate hero at 50%. 2-2. But will be banned away.
Yeah, even Jaina's fine. I think they realize that they're not going to switch any more heroes in Game 3, as we have a lot more standard picks from Genji and Nubarak. Still might be just Gunja playing that Nubarak. We don't know yet.
I
think we have to look at the solo lane, and if they
Yeah.
end up picking a mage, I think they will be going to that old role. Maybe they want to stick with what they have tonight.
I just feel like this comp has been... People have tried to break the rules of the Shimada bans with bans like the Tracer, the Abathur in the past, and I think we've kind of figured out that it just simply doesn't work because they Hanzo Uther you, and then you're stuck with this useless Genji, and I feel like this Genji is going to do very little. We've seen players like Relic almost pull it off, where I'm like, damn, that was close. Like, you almost did this without, like, you did it with a Rhaegar, and you still almost won every team fight, but we're not there yet, right? Like, people just aren't that good at Genji yet. He needs that support, and it limits what he can do. The Malthael ban was the first one I was thinking because Ballistix can just super control the top lane with that, and obviously it works really well for the Immortal race, but I think the better ban would have been the ETC ban, and I think that is what is likely to be locked in here for Ballistix, because he just, again, shuts down the mobility of the Genji. You are likely going to be picking it into a Li Ming, so you do have to think about that, because Wave of Force is going to ruin your day a little bit.
If you're thinking about ETC, of course, and the game 1 ETC was pretty scary from Hooligan, from Ballistix, so that's going to be in their head. As last time when they did, this is the map they brought Chen to block all the damage from Li Ming onto the other side, but that could be the last pick after watching all the picks from Miracle. If they actually want to bring in the mage, then bring in Chen instead of ETC.
Chen is very strong against Li Ming, but I think you save that for 5th pick if you're going to do that. And obviously he'll be the solo laner. Let's see. They're going to steal the Li Ming. There'll be Tyrael locked in as well. So now the question becomes even tougher. And I think this might be a Junkrat pick. We're talking about hero pools here, which has always been the strength, or sorry, the weakness, I should say, of Miracle. We talked about it since day 1 in 2018 here. And Gunza's an incredible Li Ming player. He's an incredible Junkrat player.
We saw this pattern a lot. Sorry to cut you off there, but when Nubarag was winning so much, it was because Uther was rising up so much and Rhaegar. Only one supports, and back then Tyrael did not have those changes. But when you cocoon that one safety tool, basically they had none. But with Tyrael rising up so highly, now they have 2. Who do you cocoon, Uther or Tyrael? Either one you can do it, but there will be the other one to protect the one who's in danger all the time. You can only
cocoon one. You're limited.
Yes.
And if they lock in the Junkrat here, like, let's just wait, okay? I think this is going to be a Junkrat. We don't know what the solo lane's going to be. Dahaka's still available. It's been their go-to, so it might be Junkrat Dahaka here. Let's see what they lock in before I comment. Okay, Abathur Chen, so they're doing the thing that Ballistix kind of tried to run with the Chen. Look at this composition and tell me what it's supposed to do. I think the answer is solve the problem that was created by the first pick Genji with the Uther Hanzo ban. The rest of those 4 picks, the Anub'arak, Stukov, the Abathur Chen, are supposed to correct the mistake that was made in the first pick Genji. Sure, Abathur can empower Chen. He can empower Genji and Anub'arak. Look for picks. They've got Stukovs. They have a silence. They can make some early game picks happen. Chen is going to be very strong in the solo lane against Tyrael. But again, we talked about the ammo changes that make Chen a little bit less useful there. But in team fights and in the Immortal race, tell me one way that comp wins. It never will. It never, ever, ever will unless they get picks and kills.
Mecha Anub'arak, not Anub'arak, Abathur slaps onto the Immortal. That's... Even, I think Abathur really has to come for that extra damage if they want to win the race. I don't know if that's going to help at all, but...
Monstrosity's getting involved.
They are not really... Monstrosity in 2-lane maps, of course. But this way, I think they're looking for the defense. Long overtime period of time damage, because Ballistix they're trying to save the burst damage. They have the CC, they have the Divine Shield, but it's not really effective against what Miracle has right now. Of course, it can save you from resets coming out from Genji. But with that ETC pick, which is super effective, and against Chen, even better. And I think Hooligan was laughing, smiling at the end, just picking ETC, says, oh, this is my chance to destroy Chen now.
Like, the Malthael ban makes more sense now too, when you think about it, because Malthael would have been great in this situation against the Chen and the Abathur, etc. It is going to be Judy on Genji, so I guess this is a position swap. So to go full circle on this, if they've just simply decided he's the DPS player now and Goons is the tank, then that probably means they think tank is more high skill cap than DPS right now, which I don't know if I agree with. But they also have just decided it's a role swap, so, you know, if they're going to go all in with it, I guess I don't mind it as much.
Let's see, this is their day one with the swap. But Chen Avatar top lane is going to destroy Tyrael, even though you can kind of soak.
Yeah, I mean,
you do not have the best wave clear. That's going to be painful if you stay in that lane.
he has the Locust as well, so I mean, even it's not huge, but it is significant in terms of what he can do. Jung's just going to have to time his shields correctly. Great symbiote here to save Judy. In fact, with the silence, they nearly made that a counter kill. The early game is being dominated down here in the 4v3 lane, and that's a problem because Abathur can help you get early game picks sometimes, otherwise he's very weak in the early game. We know that about Abathur. It's just one of the standard things we accept to be true about Abathur pre-10. But
well, it is going to be
rotation
tough.
Down.
They really need to make this into a kill. There's
silence.
A silence. Nicely done, Maki.
There
goes
you go.
Down.
That's what you got to do. So far, so good for Miracle. I actually think the execution has been pretty good.
Nice engage by Gunza there. As Ballistix, they have to win they will be winning the wave clear all the time, and that's exactly when you go for the kill, trying to have that delayed as much as possible. Because Miracle, when you look at Miracle,
not sure what happened here, but I heard a gleaming reset sounds, and that was a dead Genji before our eyes. Yeah, go on, continue.
So I was saying, they don't have any wave clear. Genji wave clear? No. Anubara wave clear? A little bit. Stukov silence wave clear? That takes a long time. Avatar? Of course not. And Chen, I think they have the wave clear, but not going to be in the same lane. And on the other side, all they need is a single shot from Hanzo, the scatter arrow. So as much as 3 men from Miracle for
Uther,
wave clear, in terms of wave clear there.
What if Uther got Burning Rage? So that would solve all their problems. No.
Nah. Not gonna happen.
It's not even on the right team, I don't even know what I'm saying. Alright. Hooligan gets stunned here, will escape.
He doesn't even
I was like trying to look for wave clear, then I was looking at all the heroes and I'm like, well yeah, Uther. Wait, no, that's
Uther at 4. Too late.
I mean, they don't have the greatest wave clear. It is gonna be Konzo going with the scatter arrow build. Okay, so they need to dive, basically. This type of comp used to be called dive. We don't really call it that anymore. We don't really talk about it that much anymore in Korea. Obviously, outside of Korea, we see like NA's carrying comp, stuff like that. But they basically need to get picks and get kills in here. That's what they're trying to do. They're using the comp correctly. They've got the Abathur symbiote to come and add the extra damage. They have these nests to stop rotations, but they're losing the longer fight. And so now, because they didn't get any picks, they're in trouble. As soon as this fight's over, Ballistix is going to go try to race. They did retreat pretty well, actually. Ballistix hasn't gotten any picks yet. Jaehyun's very low. Looks like he will be the first to fall finally here. And now Ballistix should proudly march to the Red Immortal to obtain their prize. They have Li Ming and Hanzo, so just poking this down is super easy. Okay, Gunza's looking for a playmaking potential here. Misses, unfortunately, another slide, but SC, will he get out? Gets the shield from Tyrael, but I don't think he lives through this. Judy gets that dash reset. Gonna be a trade, it looks like. H82 coming in here. Bit of a crazy game with this Chen. Hooligan getting all that armor from Uther. H82 is gonna have to back off. They win halftime. And H82, I think he lives through this. Yeah, Stukov's healing's pretty good once he kicks that bio kill switch.
This kind of looks like my quick match games for a second.
Yeah.
For the last minute.
Well, I mean, at least like Miracle got a healer. Like the comp is like not a horrible composition, and in fact, in different years and in different metas, this comp would be considered to be quite meta and quite strong. Like MVP Black used to run comps like this. So did Denial Esports back in 2016. This is a comp that we would see do well against other types of comps. Obviously, Stukov and Genji weren't released at that time, but we'd see sometimes Zarya with this. Always the Abathur. Sometimes an Illidan. It would be an Illidan, Chen comp. But it doesn't work in today's meta as well, as you guys can see. Ballistix is going to win this first Immortal. And this is a comp that Miracle's running that will come online post-10. It's going to be a while before they get there now that they've lost this first Immortal.
It's going to take some time, and here goes Hooligan, dives in for a second, getting that peel so that Immortal can do max amount of damage. They are trying to take this fort down at least.
I think they should easily be able to get the fort. It's already basically dead before the Immortal's going to go down. Abathur's body soaking bot while still providing some symbiotes here. A little bit, as much as he can to mitigate this damage, but this is even get a swing on the keep wall. Abathur goes back to the fort as Ballistix rotates down to clear that wave. Ballistix about 4 waves away from level 10, plus obviously the tick of experience here. And, you know, Miracle just kind of has to... I think they have to try to fight for this neutral camp. Their comp is so good at that. This is really similar, actually, to the Zarya comp we saw in Dragonshire in terms of camp control pre-10. Like, they're very good at it, but they hesitate, and they get nothing for it. Ballistix will be very happy with this.
And the rotation from Jaehyun was a little bit slow. He was clearing up the top lane after that team fight. Because they need that big silence. That's their tool.
Yeah. Look at how horrible Miracle's comp is at clearing this camp. Controlling the camp, the capture zone of the bird camp, that's what they're good at. With all the CC they have and the super tankiness that Chen's going to provide. But clearing this is a nightmare. And it's just too risky even for Jaehyun to properly put down his silence, his lurking arm, or he'll get picked. He doesn't have that range to get in there.
The best poke they have is probably Impale from Manubara.
Yeah, I mean, Judy's throwing out some shurikens, but look at how this one camp just gets a fort. And they're just like, oh yeah, come at me. Oh, you have no poke, you have no wave clear. Fort's dead. So now 10's up for Ballistix right before the Immortal phase. Gonna win halftime, and it looks like they want to even fight for this camp. This is the first time Ballistix can realistically do so, because they do have Zank. Only pre-10 could Miracle really bully them.
Yep, they're 10. There's nothing else, and holding on to that Divine Storm possibly, because Genji will be diving in most likely. And you don't even need that. If you drop the Sanctification along with the Moshpit, you don't even need that Divine Shield on ETC. And after watching this, seems like Hanzo will be... Divine Storm locked in! Alright.
So good against this comp. Can interrupt Chen's ability to drink brew. He doesn't have his Storm, Earth, and Fire yet. It's going to be up in just a second. If he goes for Keg, I don't even know what to believe anymore about the world. It was Storm, Earth, and Fire yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. He's holding it, but okay, thank God.
No wonder in Keg. Keg has been used last time for Ballistix too, because the other side was pretty divey, so it was to counter the dive coming in.
Yeah, same as the way Divine Storm's being used here, essentially. Shuriken Mastery is complete. That's some extra damage. That's going to be helpful, actually, in terms of the next race, if Miracle survives long enough to see it.
Well, let's see. This full shielded. Well, not anymore full, but still. We'll go reach into the wall. Go to the heat directly. Abathur has been pushing a little bit, but still needs a lot of time to soak in that extra bit of EXP.
It's not a, it's not a Locust build, so. All right, here comes Judy. He's on SDE. He's got that Shuriken Mastery damage, but look, the Sank comes down. SDE is lighting them up. He is very low, though, and did not get the takedown required to get his dominance reset. Flailing Arm here to help the retreat. SDE again targeted, but the shield's coming out from Tyrael too much. Judy flailing, but to no avail as all these shields are up. SDE's barely going to be taken out. It's actually Abathur who gets the kill there with the extra Impale damage coming out. But this is going to be a keep. And potentially game. Jaehyun's caught here now. There's the solo mosh. Jaehyun's going to dance till he dies. Just like the true Cinderella story if you actually read the Grimm's version, not the Disney version. This is not the Disney version of HGC, as Ballistix is not going to give them a second, not a chance to come back.
Odamoto goes down. They have some CC, but there's more than enough damage to bring this core down. 25% left. Still, the Tyrael is giving so much shield to everyone. That's going to provide. There's that last arrow for it to secure the game. That's game 3 and the end of the series.
Ballistix takes their easiest win of the